Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.
Andrew McCart, IFL TV. We're here in Edinburgh. Delighted to be joined by Alfie Sharman. Alfie, you said your little piece at the beginning. It seemed like you wanted to just say your piece and get out there and let the fun begin, and that's what we got.
I did. I wanted to hear from the two fighters. I often do. Look, it's important that it's our show that we host and we introduce the event. But I'm under no illusions that people are more interested to hear from the fighters. But it was great.
You said this fight maybe could have been a pay-per-view fight. You maybe could have made this a pay-per-view fight on DAZN, but you've kept it as part of your subscription, which is good for the fans. I mean, that was promised to us, and you're keeping with your promises in terms of giving us the big fights on part of your subscription as well. So that's good to know.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're a subscription service. It's important that we, when it makes commercial sense, when we're able to put these shows on part of our subscription. We have a ton of shows coming up where we're going to bring very broad audiences in. So we're anticipating a lot of people to watch, but we're all about value. Where we can, we'll do it. And we're happy to be able to deliver it for this.
Obviously, as a boxing fan, I'm going to take your sort of corporate or businessman head off, or put a boxing fan hat on. This fight, how excited are you for this one?
Incredibly excited. I am a boxing fan as well, so it's partly why I want to finish my bits at the start and hear from the guys. But I'm very excited. I think the last fight was very good. Jack's had two good wins. Josh obviously unfortunately against Teofimo last year, but tough fight. I think it's going to be. I mean, everyone's asking me. The main question I'm getting asked: do you think this will be bigger than the first? I think it's inevitable, and proof's in the pudding. Now we can see that it will be. But I can't wait. Can't wait for April 27th.
This is April 27th, like you said. Now the schedule. You've got a schedule before that. Yeah. You've got Belanga and McCrory coming up next week, and then you've just been announced that you've got AJ and Ngannou as well. Just run through that with me as well again, because I know you mentioned it at the press conference. Just run that back through.
Yeah. So obviously Belanga. This weekend we have Jake Paul and Amanda Serrano next weekend as well. Not fighting each other, of course, but on the same card, co-main. And then Smith Zepeda, AJ and Ngannou, obviously we've kind of known for a while, but formally announced today that we're the host broadcaster worldwide. Again, further bringing in much broader audiences to the platform. And then Haney Garcia was also announced, massive worldwide for the boxing fans, but huge in North America. And then obviously Fury Usyk. Now moved to May, so this is positioned perfectly in the middle of that. It's very deliberate us doing that, as I mentioned previously, to right in the middle where we bring in huge amount of fans onto our platform, diverse audiences, new audiences, and we are incredibly excited that for the next 12 weeks there's a show every week, and in there some of the fights of the year.
Definitely. Now we know that fighters. We want to see the best fight the best, and sometimes the fighters, there's all the contracts that involve lawyers, managers, the promoters are under pressure to do it. Do you feel as a network guy that you have a little bit of pressure to put onto these guys and bring these big fights? Because you just rattled off that schedule there. That's music to my ears when you talk about Haney Garcia, Josh Taylor and Catterall. You've got Ngannou and Joshua. When you keep producing fight after fight, like after fight, do you feel any pressure in that sense?
Pressure in what sense?
In the sense of delivering for us, the fans.
Not at all. It's our job. It's what we do. DAZN are a global multi-sport broadcaster. We do this every day. My job is obviously looking after the UK and Ireland and US, rest of the world markets. Boxing is our core proposition at the moment. It's just what we do. There's no pressure. The pressure is actually on the contrary when we don't have shows and it's tougher to make fights. Or, traditionally January is a quieter time of the year for boxing, obviously after Christmas, etc. That's where we get itchy feet. We kind of look for shows. So our promotional partners, the fighters on their networks, are all on board. They all want to fight, and we're really proud to be able to deliver that. So no pressure, no.
Eddie said to me that I think it was the tail end of last year. We were talking about the misfits in the professional game. We said the professional game's got the end product in the ring, but the misfits have got that storyline leading up to the press conference and the fight, which gets fans involved, gets them intrigued by the fight. Have we got the storyline here with Jack and Josh?
I think we do. Fights for me it's narratives, it's storylines. Of course, it's fighter A versus fighter B, good fighter versus good fighter. But if you cast your mind back to the biggest shows of all time, they've all had a backstory, a narrative. Eddie said it up there. This feels like an old school event. I agree with that. In the room, I'm sure you do as well. It feels bigger than just two men going at it in a couple of months. The story is absolutely there. We've got another couple of days of media coming up after this as well, where it's going to just again gather more momentum. And I was talking to Jack earlier, and he can't wait to get out he wants to get this kind of out of the way, right, and get into the gym. And yeah, I mean, fantastic story. Can't wait.
Obviously, as media guys, we talk. Me, Matt, all the guys, we always talk. We say, is this fight going to be pay-per-view? Was there any discussion in putting this on a pay-per-view platform? This fight?
There's always discussions. We're a business. We need to make fights that obviously make commercial sense for us. The forefront of our mind is value always, demonstrating value to boxing fans. We do that in volume, but where we can, it's important that we do it in terms of commercial value for audiences as well. And the objective here is to put on an incredibly credible fight, but to capitalise, as I mentioned previously, on the vast new audiences that we're going to have on platform. That is consequently going to give exposure and eyeballs to this fight, as it should do.
One final one from me. Now, you mentioned that schedule. Are you working hard for the summertime schedule and looking forward to, can we get an announcement? When can we see any more fights announced?
One more.
Of course I want more, yeah. I can have one on a Wednesday night if you can.
Now I'm feeling the pressure. Ask me that question again now. Tons more being worked on, more to be announced. Myself and the team obviously working in the background at making fights with our promoters, not only Matchroom but Golden Boy, Misfits of course. There's more to be made. There's lots in the pipeline. Our priority is to put on fights, so more to come. Nothing I can talk about now, but lots of speculation that you would have heard. Some will probably come into fruition, I would have thought.
Good stuff. No doubt. I'll see you at a show very, very soon. And I'll get the intel very soon. Thank you very much, Alfie. Thank you.
Wall Street Memes Casino
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.